Let's see if we can graph. It doesn't matter where you start on the graph. You can put your origin over here, over there, as long as you're following the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbering system. Okay. Draw a line that contains the point -3, 2 and has a slope. Remember, slope is m of -1/5. Where do you want to start? And anyone can jump in on the whiteboard and just take over and graph if you want to. That's also fine. Remember how to do this? You can do a table of values and pick numbers for X, pick numbers for Y. We won't be able to use table of values. Why not? That's when we just can't pick an X and see what Y is from this information. We don't have an equation. If we don't have an equation, then we don't have anything to plug in X into, and we can't see what Y would be. Okay, so we have to go with what we have here. Draw a line. Let me get another color. Draw a line that contains this point, -3, 2, and has a slope of -1/5. Maybe it looks -1/5. I like to see my slope this way so I can, that the minus is clear for me and I know what's the top, what's the bottom. So I'm gonna start, I'm gonna plot this point, -3, 2. I'm gonna put my 0 to be here. Just because I want to. Okay, so I'm gonna go from here, I'm gonna go -3, which is my X value. The first one is X and the second number is Y. So from here, I'm gonna go to the left 3. 1, 2, 3. And then my second number is 2. I'm gonna go up 2. And that's gonna be my dot. Okay. Now the slope tells me where to go, how to move on this graph. So from this dot, I'm gonna go the top number. Remember the slope formula was Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. So the top number tells me how to move on my Y-axis, up and down. The bottom number tells me how to move on the X-axis across. So from this point, I'm gonna go down 1. So that's gonna be my minus, I'm sorry. Down 1, and I'm gonna go to the right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm gonna put another dot there. Then from this dot, I can move the same way. Down 1, because I like to have 3 dots to make sure that I know what I'm doing. So 1 down and then 5 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I should be able to connect those 3 with a line. Not bad. Okay. And then I put the arrows on the end because I want to show that this goes on forever in both directions. I'm not gonna take off for that, but whoever sign may take off for that. And I don't feel like going back and giving you guys a fourth of a point, so. Make sure you just put your arrows at the end, or if you have a choice, choose the one with the arrows on the end. Okay. Now from here, now maybe here we can write an equation. If we want to use y equals mx plus b format, which is slope-intercept form. Okay, y would be my y value of the point. X would be the x value of the point. My slope is m. And I just need to see what my y-intercept would be. This was my line here. That's why I said I was gonna put the origin. So we want to see where this line hits my y-axis. What number should this be? This is my 0. 1.5. I'll just say 1.5. So my y-intercept, my line hits the y-axis at 1.5 or 3/2. And let's see if we can write this. Y equals mx plus b. My y value of this point is 2. My m is given to me at -1/5. X plus, what did I say it was? 3.5. Well, sorry, 3/2. I can take this out and just put y. If now I can do, if x is 0, my table of values, if x is 0, I can see what the value is for y. Right? If x is 0, 0 plus 3/2 equals my y. And that's what I have here. 1.5. So this is the formula, it's in slope-intercept form. So really, I'm not plugging in the value for x and the value for y. I'm just using that to see what my slope-intercept would be. What my intercept right here would be. Okay. Any questions? Are you guys there? I don't hear you.
No questions.
No questions.
Let's see if we can do another one. Gonna have to draw that graph again. That's gonna hurt me. Let me see if I can erase my points. Ooh. I'll do it over here. Let's see if we can graph this one. Graph it and tell me like the parts. What's the slope? What is the y-intercept? What's the point where x is 0 and I have a value for y? Okay, where do you start graphing? Where do you want to start graphing? But in order to put something on the graph, I need to have at least 1 point. It would be nice if I had 3 points. I only need 2 points, and I have to start someplace. What's the first point I can start with? Looking at this formula right here, this equation. Okay, I'm gonna look at somebody's out there. Who's that? Talk to me. This says 0, 1. Okay. So you say a point would be if x is 0, and I plugged into this 0 times 2/5, nothing, plus 1, I would get y equals 1. So that is a point, and it's a special point. It's called a y-intercept because that is where the line, when I have it drawn out, will cut or meet the y-axis. So if this is 0, 0, I'm gonna go, if my point is 0, 1, I'm not gonna move for the x, and I'm gonna 1 for the y. Let's see how this can be confusing. Let me put this in the box. So you know this is the origin. Okay. Okay, so that's 1 point, and now I can get another point, or I can move the way the slope tells me to move. What's your choice? Okay, I'm not gonna add this. If my x is 0, if I have this equation and I plug in x at 0, I have 2/5 times 0 plus 1. Okay, so I told you I like to use up everything and just write the equation over. 0 times 2.5, sorry, 2/5 is 0. Plus 1. I'm just left with y equals 0 plus 1. And y equals 1 when my x is 0. So this becomes my point. I wouldn't change the 5/5 and add it because this is nothing. This ends up to be nothing. Okay. So from here, from my point, oh my Lord, hold on. From 0, 1, I can either move the way the slope tells me to move, which would be 2 up and 5 across, or I can pick another point, and maybe I pick x is 5. When x is 5, change my color. When x is 5, what's the value of my y? So I just write the equation again and I plug in x for 5. Okay. I didn't even plug in x for 5. Oh my goodness. That's random. Yes. Okay, so from here, I have 2/5 times, and I like to make it a fraction. I make my 5 a fraction because I have a fraction here. So this 2/5 times 5/1, and then plus 1 gives me what I have for y. So 2 times 5 is 10. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 will go into 10 twice. So I end up with y equals 3. And y equals 3 when my x is 5. So I have another point, which is all I really need. My other point is 5, 3, which I can graph from my origin. 5 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3 up. Okay, I know it's supposed to be here, okay, because my graph was a little jacked up. And then I can connect the line. And not forget to write my arrows on the end showing that it continues forever in both directions, which is what a line is. Questions? Okay, we're good? Okay.
Good.
Erase these things. Y equals x plus 3. You can always start with the table of values. Once you have the equation, then you can do the table of values. If you just have a point and a slope, then you're gonna have to use the point and move like the slope tells you. So this is my equation, y equals x plus 3. I'm gonna choose x as a 0. If x is 0, then I have y equals 0 plus 3. So y equals 3. And my point is 0, 3, 0, 3. When I start at my origin, I won't move for x, I won't go left, I won't go right, I'll just stay there. And then for the 3, I'll go up 3. And then I'll pick another number. Someone just put another number into the chat, not like 17, but something that's on the graph. That we can say if x.
5.
5, okay. Thank you. If x is 5, let's see what my value for y will be. So if x is 5, so when x is 5, my y value is 8. So this gives me another point. 5,8. I start at my origin, I go 5 to the right. And 8 up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll connect those. And I will draw my arrows on the end to show it goes forever in both directions. Okay. I'm gonna do another one. See if we can graph this. Okay, so this equation is written in a different form, but you could still move it around to be the way that you like it. Okay, as long as you keep your signs the same when you move them. So this is standard form. Standard form is AX plus BY equals C. It's like the X, the Y, then the equal, and then just the number. So that's the form that this is in. That's my form. And the other form that maybe we like better is the Slope-Intercept form. Y equals mx plus b, where you can see the slope, which is attached to the x. And you can see what the intercept is, which is the number that will cross this axis. You want to change it or you want to just graph it like that? You
Can we change it?
can change it, yeah. Let's change it. Apologize in advance for my handwriting. So I'm just gonna switch this around. The Y is good here. I just need to move the 2x to the other side. And when you move anything to the other side, you do the opposite of the sign. So minus 2x, minus 2x. So I'm left with the Y equals 4 minus 2x. And I just want to flip these. I just want to put the 2x, the minus 2x here, and the 4 there. As long as I keep my minus sign, I'm good. So now I can look at this, and this is my Y, this is my. I really write like garbage. See that now. That's my slope. This is my Y-intercept, which is. So I know I'm gonna have one of the points. This happens when X is 0. So one of my points that I will have will be 0, 4. Okay. And we didn't really do any work yet. We're just looking at the formula in a different way. So 0, 4, I could graph that, and then I can move the way the slope tells me to move. The slope is -2. You always try to write your slope in terms of a fraction because you're gonna have a y and an x. So my slope is -2, which is my y business, and over 1, which is the x business. When I look at the graph, is the graph gonna go downward? Am I driving downhill or am I driving uphill?
Uphill
Uphill,
or down?
downhill, because if I have a negative slope, my hill is going
Let
down.
me get down. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, we're all here to learn. Okay, so from here I can go 0, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and plot my point. That's my y-intercept. It's the point where the line will meet the y-axis. And then I can move like the slope tells me to move. I can go down 2 and over 1. And then I'll do it again just to be sure. Down 2 and over 1. And I should be able to connect those 3 points. And my graph is going down. I'm driving downhill. Do another one. I'm gonna give you guys another one and put you in little groups and then you can fix it and then come back, okay? So this is the one you're gonna graph. Let's see. Two x minus 5y equals 10. Okay, jot that down someplace. I'm gonna put you in groups. Give you 3 minutes. I think 3 minutes is enough. Okay, let's see. Okay. All right, so I have, can you see the rooms or I have to tell you the rooms? I have Jared, Krista, Jerome, and Shayla in one room, one Zoom room. Adrian, Elvin, Haley, and Stephanie Martinez. And then the other one, I have Autumn, Jimena, Jose, and Heather. And the last one is Destiny, Judith, Olivia, and Taylor. Okay. Go ahead, I'll give you 3 minutes.
We're graphing the line where it says 2x minus 5y equals 10. Okay.
Let's get into it. All right, let's see. $60 and you guys come back.
This is Alvin. Are you able to hear me? I wasn't able to hear in the other room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looks like yeah, something was up with it or something.
Adrian and Haley and Stephanie, are you guys there? You guys can, we will be able to hear, okay. Yeah, we put in, we were in groups.
Yeah, I went to the group and I saw them signed in there, but for some reason I couldn't get through to anybody.
Okay.
Same.
Well, hi, welcome. Okay, can you see this? You can see this part here, the 2x minus 5, y?
Yes.
Yes, okay. It's closing out all the rooms now, and then we'll see if we understand what's going on here. Okay, Krista and your group, where did you guys start? Krista, you there? No? Jerome? Oh, yeah, Krista's there. Where did you guys start, Krista? Finding X and Y. Okay, so you just pick a number for X. You just pick the random number for X. And if so, what number did you pick for X? 0. Okay, we picked 0 for X. You guys don't text me. I can't do 2 things at one time. Okay, we pick 0 for X. Then we plug in X into as 0 into the equation. So 2 times 0 minus 5y equals 10. So 2 times 0 is 0 minus 5y equals 10. So I have minus 5y equals 10. I want to get this y by itself. So I'm going to divide away the minus 5. I'll divide minus 5, and whatever I do to one side, I do to the other side. So on this side, I just have the y. On this side, 5 will go into 10 twice. It'll need to be a minus because minus times minus gives me a plus 10. So I have y equals -2, so my point is 0, -2. And that's a special point because it is an intercept. Okay, it's going to be where the line hits the y-axis. So 0 means I don't go any place left or right, I stay in the middle. And I'll go down to 1, 2. Okay, and then I don't have my slope, do I? I don't have a slope that I can see. So I'll have to pick another point. Haley and your people, what point did you pick, or did you pick another point?
We didn't really pick a specific point. We kind of just put it into the slope-intercept form, and then we graphed the y-intercept and just used the slope. So,
So what was your slope-intercept form equation thing looking like?
like from the beginning or what it was at the end?
And
Okay, so we ended up getting y equals 2 over 5x plus, or minus 2, sorry.
-2 over 5x. No. 2 over 5x minus.
Minus 2, yes.
Okay.
So then Y-intercept is -2, and the slope is 2/5, so we went up 2 and to the right 5. So
Okay.
we ended up getting 5,0.
Mhm, so, Which is another special point, but it's the X-intercept. So
Yes.
that's, okay, so we went from here and used 5,0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then don't move. Yeah. And then I can connect those. Jose and Jose's people, when I look at this graph, I expect my slope to be positive or negative. It's like a simple check for me to see that I did the right work here. So when I look at this graph, my line is going up. Like if I'm driving a little car, you don't want me to draw a little car. Punch
Would
code.
it be positive because it's like going up a hill?
Exactly. This is my car. It's a hoopty, so don't worry about it. That's my car and I'm driving up the hill, so my slope would be positive. Whatever I did down here, I expect my slope to be positive, which it is, because when I look in my slope-intercept form, it's positive 2/5. Okay. And all I really need is two dots, 2 points to connect, and that's it. And it's easier to do the intercepts this way. So we're good with this? This makes sense? And now I'll show you how to write the equation of a line when you have just 2 points, or when you have, when you have 2 points. Okay. You guys need a break? Need a break. Need a break, a little 5-minute break?
Yeah, I gotta go get more paper.
Okay, all right. You should have a notebook. Okay. All right, so I give you a 5-minute break. All right, we're back. Okay, so, pick up my little thing. Okay, we're going to write the equation of the line. We're given some slope points, maybe the points and maybe just an X or just a Y, a partial point, and see if we can write our own equation of the line. Okay. So this is the slope-intercept form is a Y equals mx plus b form. Let me write that here. And we find this useful because you can look at it and you can already see what your Y-intercept is going to be and what your slope is, and you can graph it really easily. You can plug in this point and then move the way the graph is, and bam, and you're done with least amount of work. This thing is a little different. Okay, this is the point slope form of an equation, because when you look at it, you can see the slope and you can see the point. The point would be your X part and the Y part of your point, and the letter Y and the letter X stays in the equation, just like how it stays here. Okay, so let's see if we can practice and write the equation. Of the line. This is slope. 4. Going through these 2 points. With the equation of a line that has a slope of 4 And it goes through these 2 points, 8,0 and 3,2. Okay, so this is the point slope form. I will use this one to write the equation because I have a point, I have 2 actually, so I can choose which one I want to do. I have a point, at least 1 point, and I already have the slope. So I'm going to use this one and write the equation of the line with that information. So I told you I like to write out the whole thing first. Mostly because I'm old and I forget stuff. So if I write it down, then I'll remember it. I don't have to ever say, what's that formula? Okay. So the Y, the letter Y stays in there because I need that to graph it. Minus, I'm gonna use this point to write the equation, 3,2. So that means this, the X1 is the 3 and the Y1 is a 2. Minus 2 equals, slope is 4. Four times X minus, and my X1 is 3. So now I'll have to just multiply it out and clean it up a bit. Y minus 2 equals 4 times X is 4X. And 4 times minus 3 is minus 12. And then I'm gonna be nice and leave this in slope-intercept form for somebody. So I'll take the minus 2 to the other side of the equal sign. And it'll become a plus 2. I have Y equals 4X. Negative 12 plus 2 leaves me with a negative 10. And this is the equation of the line. What format or what form is this in? What form is this in? Is it standard form, which is
Slope-Intercept form.
slope-intercept form? And it's in slope-intercept form, which means I can see my slope and my Y-intercept. So I know that I have a slope of 4 and 0, 10 is a point on, oh my lordy. Why does it keep doing that? Oh, because I have this dumb new mouse, that's why. Okay. I see this and I can see that my slope is 4, which thankfully it's 4 because it gave me that. I want to make sure that I did it right. So my slope is 4, so that's good. And I have a point 0, 10 is the intercept. Okay, so that's not that, it's not that bad. Still ugly, but okay. Now, if they ask you to write your equation in standard form, then you have to move it around, okay? Let's just do that. If they wanted you to write it in standard form, this is one form, but standard form is the AX plus BY equals C. I would have to move this back to that side, which will give me minus 4X plus Y equals negative 10. And in this, I forgot to tell you, in this standard form, the A is always positive. The number that is in front of the X point. Okay. So I'm gonna have to change this. I'll change this sign. I'll change this sign and I'll change this sign. So it'll now be 4X minus y equals 10. If it was in standard form. Okay. Good so far?
Yes.
Make a new board. Write the equation of the line containing the and so write the equation of the line containing 4, comma, -9 and -5, comma, 3. Okay, the formula to write the equation of the line is, it gives me, it's point slope form. So what am I missing? I have points, but I'm missing something else.
Slope.
I'm missing the slope, and I can get the slope. It's a little more work, but I can get the slope with these 2 points. So I have y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So this is, I'll use this as my second set of points. So 3 minus a -9. 3 minus -9 is the same thing as 3 plus 9. And then -5 minus 4. Which is the same as I am at -5 and I'm getting more negative. Adding 4, so I'm at -9. Okay, 12 over -9. I can reduce this. It's a lot of work for just the slope. I will divide them by 3. So 3 will go into 12 4 times. And 3 into 9 minus 3. What is that? Minus 4 over 3. Okay, so I will, the formula is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So sorry. Okay, so I have, which point do you want to use? 4 comma -9 or -5 comma 3?
-5, comma 3.
Okay, so for my y, it stays the y, minus 3 equals, m is my slope. Well, this is ugly, huh? Sorry. Times x minus a -5. So y minus 3 equals -4 over 3 times x plus 5. Okay. Y minus let's see. I'm gonna take this opportunity to show you how I get rid of this, because it seems like no one's likes fractions. I guess I can understand. So since I have a 3 here, I'm gonna multiply the whole equation by 3/1. Like everyone in the equation is gonna get multiplied by 3/1, like one big parentheses. Except for this guy. These guys are protected, okay? Because they have parentheses already. So 3y minus 9 equals negative 12 over 3, which is just a negative 4. It gets rid of this. Using negative 4 times these same things. Okay, so now I can work my magic without having to be taking so much time with the fraction. So 3y minus 9 equals negative 4x minus 20. And you want to put it in standard form or slope-intercept form? Now is your chance to choose.
Miss Malik,
Yeah.
nothing is showing on my screen. I don't know why,
You
but I
can see,
can't. Anything? No.
Try and zoom out.
I tried that. I don't know why nothing is showing.
I made a new whiteboard. Is that?
Yeah, I don't see nothing. I can't. I don't know why nothing is showing.
Oh my Lord. Someone help her. Let me see. Is that better? Let me see. No, I can't see it. No, I can't see it myself. Nothing still?
No.
You should try like leaving and coming back.
Yeah. we still-
Oh, okay.
this engine. Okay, so I have, here I'm gonna put my 9. I'll move the 9 over to the other side. Can you see Jimena? Okay, so I'm gonna move the minus 9 to the other side. Yes, okay, plus 9. Plus 9. Leaves me with 3y equals minus 4x. Negative 20 plus 9 is minus 11. And I need for this format to be proper or correct, you have no number in front of the y. So they just want to see y equals blah, blah, blah. So I'll divide everything by 3. I'll divide this by 3. And I'll divide this by 3. And divide this by 3. So I have y equals -4/3 x -4/3 x minus 11/3. Aren't we glad we're not graphing this on my graph? Okay, when I look at it, I can see, let me write a little meter called typing. Y equals -4/3 x minus 11/3. I look at it, I can see what my slope is. My slope is -4/3. So if I did have to graph it, I would expect for my graph to be going down because it's negative. And then this is my y-intercept, which means when x is 0, I know y is going to be -11/3. Which is almost 4, like very close to 4. 3 2/3. If I had to graph it, but I can get this information. So I went from here, where I had just 2 points, to get in the slope, to using the slope and 1 point to write my equation in the point slope form. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so if I have the same exact slope, okay, if one line has this slope, say it's +4 or 2. One line has this slope and another line has the same exact slope, then these lines are parallel to each other. So parallel lines have the same exact slope. Now, it's not the same line, but it slopes the same way. Okay. Perpendicular lines have slopes that are perpendiculars. Why do I keep doing that? Oh. Okay. A perpendicular slope is, you know, when you come to like a 4-way stop sign, say so this is the road. Okay, so you're at a 4-way stop sign. This here going one way, and this is going another way. If they meet, if these two lines meet and make an invisible 90-degree angle, which people use a box to show, because you don't want to have a slanted box because then it doesn't hold anything. So 90 degrees symbol is the box. These are perpendicular. So this line, if this slope of this line was 7/9. Let's pick something really ugly. If the slope of this line was 7/9, then the perpendicular slope, the slope that meets it at 90 degrees, is gonna have the negative reciprocal. It's gonna be flipped. The numbers will be flipped. So the slope of the blue line will be 9/7. And it will have the opposite sign. So if this one is positive, this slope is gonna be negative. Okay? These two lines will have the same exact slope. These perpendicular lines, lines that meet at 90 degrees, will have the same numbers in their slope, but one will be flipped and the signs will be opposite. Okay? Scared to make a new whiteboard. Let me see. Let me know if you don't see it anymore. Let's see, we find some slopes. Parallel to. Okay, find the slope of the line. The slope of the line parallel to 2x plus y equals 4. How do I know if the line is going to be parallel? Parallel lines have the same exact slope. They're just the same line just floating out there in the world with the same slope. They're never going to meet. So I have to see what the slope of this line is first. Okay, so I'm going to try to move it around to be in another format. I will put it in. Oh my goodness, what is that? All right. Put it in Slope-Intercept form. Okay, because if I have Slope-Intercept form, then I can see what my slope is without doing a lot of work, which is what we're always trying to save. Okay, so 2x plus y equals 4. I want to get it into a format that looks like this. I can see what my slope is without doing anything, without doing a lot of things. So I have the y over here, the number over here. I'm going to move the 2x to the other side. So minus 2x leaves me with y equals 4 minus 2x. And I want to switch it around so it's the x is in front of the just number, the intercept. So minus 2x plus 4. And now I can see what my slope is. The slope is here. My slope is -2. On this question, WebAssign usually gives you one equation, one line, and then gives you choices for the picture of the other lines. So when you're looking at the picture, you'll know to choose the one that has a negative slope, so the one that's going down. And maybe the one that passes through the intercept. So the point, this should be definitely a point on this line, 0,4 for the intercept. Okay, so you have the slope of the line parallel to this. If we wanted to write the equation of that line, write the equation of the line. What do I need? What are the least bit of information I need to graph a line? I need either 2 points, or I need the slope and 1 point, or the actual equation. So if I needed to write the equation of this one, I can pick any point I want, because it doesn't say a specific line, it just says a line. So I am lazy, I will always pick 0, 0 as a point. So if I pick 0, 0 and my slope is -2, I can use the point slope form to write the equation of the line, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1 . I'm gonna use my slope is -2, because I want the same slope that's parallel. And I'm gonna use 0, 0 as my point. So y minus 0 equals my slope times x minus 0. So y minus nothing is y. -2 times x. -2x. -2 times nothing is nothing. And that's my equation, because I don't have anything here to put anything here. It looks a little weird because I don't have a y-intercept in this equation. Or I do have a y-intercept, but it's 0. So y equals -2x is the equation. If I needed to graph this, I could graph it by picking a table of values. And I just need 2 points to graph. 3 if I want to be extra short. So if X is 0, what's my value for Y? 0 times -2 is 0. But I knew this. I knew that 0, 0 was a point on my graph because I chose those, easy points. I choose something else. I'll choose 1 for X. When X is 1, I have Y equals -2 times 1. So Y equals -2. And that's another point. So when X is 1, Y is -2. And then I'll connect those 2 points. How are we doing so far? Alright,
Good.
okay. I'm gonna stop here because the next thing we'll do is graphing 2 lines on one graph and solving for both of them. And that takes a lot of space. Anyone have any questions so far? I'll post the video to Blackboard after. Anyone have any questions? Who doesn't understand? Oh my gosh. Okay, what don't you understand? Talk to me. I'm gonna talk to me. If you guys don't have questions, you guys can go and then I can talk to the people that don't understand. All right, bye. Next time you can say bye, Fro.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
So we can leave if we don't have any questions?
Yes,
Okay, bye. Have a good day.
you too.
Bye. You have a good one.
Thank you. Bye.
No problem. Yay. All right, talk to me. Any questions?
I don't understand. Well, all of it because I get lost in the middle of the process. I mean, it seems easy, but I get lost. Like,
Okay, so let's see, let's go to find the slope of the line, okay? This is
Okay.
the line here. And we're trying to find the steepness of the line, like how does it slope down, up? What does it look like on the graph?
uh-huh.
So I like to put it in this form, y equals mx plus b, because I can see what my slope is. The slope is gonna be the number that's attached to the x. So I move this around.
Are you doing something on the board? Because I can't.
Yes, oh, you can't see the board?
Oh no, I can see it now.
Okay. So I move this to the other side and I'll just be left with the y on the left side equals, and then when it moves to the other side, it becomes a minus. So minus 2x. And then I have this 4 here. So now this is still the same equation of the same line, but it's just prettier because I can see the number that's attached to my x. I know that's my slope. It's gonna be -2.
Okay, so the slope is always going to be x.
The slope, I don't want to say always, let me see. The slope is in this form, in the y equals mx plus b form, it's gonna be attached always to the x.
Okay.
That's why we like this form, because I can look and I can say, bam, whatever else is going on over here and over here, I can look and I can say, okay, that's my slope is -2. And then this will always be my intercept. It's like a free point. It's always gonna be 0, comma, whatever this number is. So my point on the graph is gonna be 0, comma, 4. Because this, the graph will be like 0, 4, like say the graph is here. And I know it's gonna be going downwards because it's a negative slope. Say it looks something like that. I know that this free point here is when x is 0, when I plug in the whole equation and I plug in x for 0, and I do the work, I end up with y equals 4. -2 times 0 is 0.
Let me know what this name of the question.
So 0 plus 4 is 4. So I end up with y equals 4 as my point.
Okay, wait, but what happened to the x?
I made it 0. I chose.
Oh,
a
okay.
point and I said, yeah, if x is 0, what do I get for y? And I get 4. But this, when it's in this format, the slope-intercept form, this number is always going to be your y when x is 0.
Okay.
So when in this format, you get a free point, 0, comma, whatever this number is, and you get the slope. So you can plot this point, 0, 4, and then you know that your slope is going to be downward because it's already here and it's negative.
I do get it.
So we, in this format,
And that's the format that we have to use always.
you don't have to. I would use it when I want to graph easier. Like if y is by itself in my equation that they give me, like I gave you this, 2x plus y equals 4. If y is already doesn't have a number next to it, then I'm gonna try to use this formula. I'm gonna try to just swap over that 2x over there. And it gets me into, I end up with this, y equals -2x plus 4.
Okay, so all of this is just to find y.
Not find y, it's find the point, maybe 1 or 2 points. Yes, they're all different ways to find 1 or 2 points and the slope. You can always find it this way. You can always, this is like, this will never fail you. You can always say 0, I don't have any pets, 1, 2, 3. You can always do this and then work them out and say, okay, when x is 0, I have 2 times 0, y equals 4. Because 2 times 0, I can say y equals -2x plus 4. And now
Okay, so to get y, you have to change x to the number.
yes,
So instead of 0, you put one of those numbers.
yes. So
Like
now I'm
1,
gonna
2, or
swap.
3.
So now I'll do it when x is 1. So -2 times 1 and -2 times 1 is -2. So -2 plus 4 is really 4 minus 2. So that's 2. So y is 2. So I have another point, 1, comma 2, another point. And then I can go back and I can plug in 3 for x. This is my equation. I'm going to plug in 3. Y equals -2 times 3. -2 times 3 is -6. Plus 4 is -2. So when x is 3, my y is -4. It's another point. Okay, what do you have?
Okay, and the number next to y, it's always gonna be negative.
No,
The mx,
the number next to the x is always gonna be your slope.
yeah, but is it gonna be always negative?
No, not always negative, because not all lines are like this. That would be so boring for us to graph all of our lines that are going down. We'll never have any
Okay.
positivity.
Okay, I think I kind of get it. And I also have another question. Where can I see the homework?
On
'Cause,
WebAssign, did you get the course from WebAssign?
no, couldn't open it.
Are you on campus or are you?
Yeah,
oh,
I'm in campus.
Campus, you go to the bookstore and I think it's maybe like 80 something dollars, I'm not sure.
No, but I did bought the book. Let me show you something. Can I share my screen with
Yeah,
you?
go ahead.
I think
You can't, I don't see.
I can't.
You can't, what? I made everyone share their screen. Hold on. I'll stop sharing mine so you can show yours. Hold on.